always a journey, probably even once you're a billionaire. You just create a new path, right?
I guess so.
Honestly, I didn't know this gift until I was in this situation, right? So I think that part of it is like you trusting the process. Like I had to basically surrender and say, I'm going to trust you. You lead the way.
If you're buying a substance that has a devil on fire on the bottle, it's probably not good for you.
Is that the logo?
Yeah, it's a little devil on fire.
Oh wow, yeah, that's bad. Here we go again, Vegas.
Oh my god, wait, the truck is coming at me.
Oh my god!
CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion.
Welcome. So excited that you're here.
Is it already recording?
We're always on.
Oh, we're always on. I love it.
I'll give you the quick, if you tap in the back, as long as this is flashing, that means it's recording. It'll go black because of saving of the battery. But if you ever want to take a look at yourself, just tap in the back.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to keep looking at myself. So. Just make sure there's no lipstick on the teeth.
Okay. I got your Diet Coke.
Yay, thank you.
I gotta say, that's the first person that's asked for a Diet Coke.
I know, well, because it's basically like poison, so you're not really supposed to drink Diet Coke, but I am addicted.
Well, it's better
I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, it's better than, a couple shots of tequila.
Right.
It is Friday. It is Friday afternoon. I have gone guests who drink on the podcast. I'm not gonna say who.
I'm not gonna say who. I think I know one, maybe.
Well, we have to, we have to conceal that there was drinking going on during the filming.
But they're not driving.
I know. I actually don't know what the rules are for that. So just for that, we'll just say that it was just a regular. Yeah, now we do. It was just a regular, beverage.
Tell me, how much was all of this? How much did all this equipment cost? Yeah.
I pay the bills, but I don't know how much this costs. So
really? So the reason I asked, because I just set up my studio. Yeah. And it was expensive.
It is. So I had a normal podcast room at the office, and people would come in. So quick background on how this whole thing started is because I would pick people up from the airport, and hey, we're gonna go film a podcast, and my office is 25 minutes from the airport.
Wait, where's your office?
In Summerlin.
Oh, nice. Well, that's where I am.
So by the time I get to Summerlin, I pick up the person, and we're chatting, and it's
you're having all the good conversation in the car, right?
And genuine stuff. And so by the time I get in the podcast, I was like, so remember what you were telling me in the car?
Yes.
Remember? And so it's not just the same. So I was like,
that's smart.
Wouldn't it be great to just have kind of like that carpool karaoke feel?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the company's in motion. I was like, we gotta have a podcast that's in motion.
I love it. I think it's so creative.
So the CEO in motion, kind of was born, and it's really like me interviewing people that are going through their path to success. So not necessarily am I gonna maybe interview a billionaire who's already made it, who's already up there.
Right.
I want to know the journey, because that's where most people are stuck. Most people are stuck in, okay, what does it take to go from here to the level? And that's where we both are. That's that's really where we're at. So.
Yeah, I feel like it's always a journey. Probably even once you're a billionaire, right? Then don't you have just another? It's like you just create a new path, right?
I guess so.
I don't know.
It's hard to, conceptualize what a billionaire's life is like, and you really have to have a drive to keep going. If you're a billionaire and people are running your companies, or you're already set for your grandkids are set for life, it's about that deep
the deep purpose.
Exactly. The drive. Okay, it's no longer about the money. Maybe it never was, and that's why they became billionaires.
That's what I believe.
I think most billionaires
when it's about the money, you actually can't get that far.
I think most people will have if it's about the money, then once you hit that goal, then why continue?
Right.
And it's actually funny. I posted actually just about this today.
You did?
I have a tattoo that says Kaizen, and Kaizen is a Japanese word that means continuous improvement in all aspects.
That.
So it means it means financial, it could be spiritual, relationships, work, your health, your body. It means that once you get to a goal, don't give up. You continuously improve
always,
in all aspects of your life.
Keep learning
and I love that word.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like I'm very, I don't know, energetically right now, things are just like happening. And I had 2 podcasts today, and this guy that this morning, he had tattoos and they all had meaning, and it was just so cool to hear like the stories. But he was very into, you know, everything is about energy and the way that you show up, and he styles Russell Brunson.
Oh wow,
yeah,
he's the master,
right?
He's the
but
goat.
It was so fascinating because he was talking about, you know, the clothes we wear, right, and how we perceive them. So when you're like pitching, for instance, you don't want to be too flashy. You want to look more relatable, is kind of how I was hearing it. And then there's 4 different outfits that
I gotta start taking notes, guys.
No,
start
it's
taking
really
notes.
interesting. So there's one is a rock star look, okay, and that's typically day 1, I believe. So you come out in this, it's like super memorable, right? Like this moment, because that's when most people take photos, is on day 1 of the event.
So the first impression.
Yeah,
Boom.
first impression.
Okay.
And then there's a teaching outfit. So that's like where you'd have glasses on, or your hair pulled back, or, you know, your sleeves rolled up, right?
Okay,
because
a little bit more
like,
of a teaching.
Yeah, you're serious, you're going to get to work, and you're going to teach. And then, oh gosh, what was the other? Oh, the pitching outfit. And then there's a 4th one, and now I can't remember what the 4th one was. I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look. But really, really interesting. And he was telling me the color light blue is really great to wear when you're pitching if you have a mixture of, you know, men and women that are in your audience, because it's not too masculine, it's not too feminine. I was like, this is just so
It's amazing
wild.
how strategic some people get, that even the color of what you're wearing
it was interesting.
Matters. That means they must be measuring everything, like every outcome.
Everything,
boom, boom, boom,
everything
boom, boom.
is so like perfectly thought out. And then we went upstairs. I introduced him to Ryan, and it was so funny. You know, Ryan was asking him questions and stuff, and then Ryan goes, I usually just wear whatever's clean.
Yeah, whatever's in closet that I haven't used, that's it. That's the one.
I was like, oh, this is great. But
I try to keep it all black. I have like always like my hat with the lucky.
Yeah, you definitely have a signature look.
My hat? Is it back there? I'm sure I had it.
Oh yeah, you do.
There it is.
Yeah, the Live Lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was born on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, so even better.
Yeah, little lucky leaf right here.
Yeah.
And I'm usually wearing it, and then if I put product in my hair, I just don't do it. So depends. But I'm usually always just now wearing just black. It's simple, and I have multiple.
But then you have the green.
Multiple of the same shirts. Yeah, and that goes the same with my brand. So on my colors, on my font, it's always with a black background with a green font, and I try to kind of like keep it consistent. Keep it consistent.
And then you have the backpack. Yeah.
The backpack does help.
That's kind of your thing. So I mean, that's how you caught my eye.
That's how we met. Yeah, and I think we probably were already following each other.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're Kate Sells Vegas, and you're Kate Sells Another Backpack. I've seen you.
I think I did start following you before I had met you, and I think, honestly, I saw your backpack at like the first WealthCon that I was at, and I was like, oh, that's clever. I'm gonna look him up right now because it was on the back of your thing.
Yeah,
you know?
my Insta Chava.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, really cool. So I started following you, but I didn't get to meet you until another WealthCon.
Backpack for the win. So I'm gonna give you a quiz to see how much. So I paid for the backpack.
Yeah.
$299, $300. How much money do you think that backpack has made me?
Oh wow. Well, how long have you had it?
2 years.
Gosh. I don't know. That's a good question. Well, because I have a lot of questions for you to figure out. Like, I need to know more about what you do, and you know.
Well, just
I don't know. Let's
from
say
attention grabbing.
200,000.
Oh, that's actually higher. Maybe because you have a mindset of abundance. But most people go like, I don't know, $500, $1,000, and I go like $120,000, and their head explodes. But you're like, I don't know, $250,000. Well, thanks, Kate. See, this is what happens when you talk to somebody that has an abundance mindset.
Yeah, well, you have to realize I'm hanging out with Ryan Pineda
you're like,
every day.
a couple $100,000.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
You know?
Well, but the point of it is like, I'll probably hit 200,000 at some point. Sometime
pretty
this year.
soon, because
and it's because
you said you're at 120,000
Yeah, so-
from the backpack.
yeah, and it's just about and it's all about people stop me. Then they go like, hey, I follow you. Oh, what do you do? And then I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's a
I own a social media
conversation
company,
starter.
or I own a digital,
Yeah.
or I own mobile billboards. Oh, I need help here and here. And because I do travel a lot, people are like, were you in Dallas? I saw you at the airport. I was like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
me. I
they
got all these
see
different
you.
conferences. Oh, were you,
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Miami, Chicago, like all these places
No,
that I
it's
travel.
really brilliant, honestly. I mean, I'd be interested to hear what Bart would say, the stylist, because he was talking about accessories too, and how all of that's intentional. So he had, like, if say you wear a necklace, it's like you could wear a necklace that would create a conversation about something, or he had like something with Mickey Mouse. He's like, that's intentional.
Yeah,
then
because people will ask about it.
Yeah.
Like, are you a big Disney guy? Whatnot?
Exactly.
So tattoos, I like that you were kind of asking about tattoos, because if you're going to put something permanent on your body,
you want it to mean something, right?
It should, at least it was a drunken, weekend thing. You mentioned you don't drink. I don't drink either.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I think we talked about this briefly.
I was a mess
I feel
before.
like we did. So tell me your journey to sobriety.
I mean, I've been sober for almost 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. I think I already drank enough for like 3 lifetimes. So, so it, when I have an older sister, and I'm like, you could take 45 years of her life, and I've probably drank more alcohol in 1 month than she has in 45 years.
Really?
So when like people are like, well, you're never gonna drink ever again, I was like, listen, I've had more than my fair share of alcohol.
I know that's funny. That is what people say. Like, you're never gonna drink again. Like, they're just like,
I don't know that. Like, I don't know if that's gonna be
right.
But
well,
at least for right now, like I don't want to, and I don't plan to, and until midnight, hopefully we'll make it. This is a good start.
They say like, one day at a time, but
that's right.
So what was like the moment that made you decide? Did you have a rock bottom, as they say?
I mean, at the time I was living in Los Angeles, and the last time I took a drink, I woke up in a hotel room in Miami.
Oh my god.
So so
you like got on a plane and you didn't even remember?
It was almost like a work trip that was going on, but I paid it with the work company money, and I mean, this is like years ago now, so I woke up and the mini fridge in the hotel was like empty, so I drank everything that was there. I didn't know where was going on. I was trying to figure out. I was like, oh man, that was like rough, and I lost my debit card, my credit card, the company card.
Oh no.
So then it was like a big deal. So then that was a major hangover.
How old were you then?
33.
33. Okay.
Yep.
And so that was the moment where you're like,
well, life was like, the last 5 years of my my drinking career. And at some point, for a couple years, I was sleeping on the floor. Like, I had literally like, I lived in a studio with another 30-year-old guy, and we were.
Oh really?
And
so you were just a
I was on an
mess.
inflatable like mattress.
Oh
one
my
of those
God.
from Target for like
Yeah.
30 bucks. You don't see it right now because you see
Now I'm
my
like,
life.
so you were kind of like,
Oh,
a loser, right?
Fireball in the morning, on my breakfast.
Oh my god!
Just
No way.
no job, no car. And,
Wow. Sleeping on an air mattress.
With
That's wild.
with my girlfriend, who is now my wife.
She stayed with you?
We've been together
Just
for 10
kidding.
years. No, yeah. You're surprised, Kate. Nobody's more surprised
She's
than
an
me.
angel. Yeah.
I met her when she was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I think when sometimes we talk about these things and she goes like, should I know what I know now in my age? Back then I would have been with you like.
Yeah.
But I was 19. I was naive. She's like.
Well, but it kind of worked out because at least you grew and evolved.
Yes. So we both grew and my life is very different. And so, what about you? Like, was it a journey for health?
Some people never, grow out of that. So, yeah, for me it was a little bit different. I had basically alcohol was, I would say, the main cause of my divorce, and so. But I
you or for him?
For him, he drinks. Well, and I used to drink too, but and I don't ever think that I drank so much where it was like affecting my relationships, But if I look back, I'm like, yeah, I definitely drank too much.
Like if you ask them, that's really the question, because we're the last person to see it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm in my 20s. I'm fine,
Well, because it's just so like socially acceptable, and there's like wine everywhere, and before you know it, it's like you're drinking wine every night, like, and you don't need to be. But anyway,
or Fireball in the morning,
which is great. I never did that.
Fireball with cinnamon toast crunch. That's the thing. It's like cinnamon whiskey, cinnamon toast crunch.
Wow.
I thought I was a genius.
That just makes you want to vomit. Like,
well, listen, if you're buying a substance that has a devil on fire on the bottle, it's probably not good for you.
Is that the logo?
Yeah, it's a little devil on fire.
Oh wow, yeah, that's bad. So yeah, I was not a Fireball
gal.
I liked Moscow Mules, and
you're a little more refined.
Yeah, and then like white wine and stuff. But anyway, I stopped drinking because I was just like trying to inspire some change in the household, and I was not effective at doing that. But when I stopped, I was like, wow, I feel really good. I don't really think I want to drink again because I feel like way more energized. I feel like I have a clear head. I was losing weight, and so I'm like, I don't need alcohol. Like, I'm just going to not drink. And it's been so, like, great. And I still have so much fun.
There's so many advantages to it. It's not, first of all, somehow you have more money in your pocket because you'll all of a sudden you realize that you're not spending those wine bottles. You're not going out and getting like an $18 shot.
That you say that, 'cause I went on a date the other night.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, wow, you're like a cheap date, when you don't drink alcohol,
nice.
Because it's so much cheaper.
Where'd you guys go? Where did he take you?
I don't remember the name of the restaurant that we went. It was somewhere at Caesars.
Oh, okay, so it was here. It was here in Vegas.
Yeah, it was here.
Very nice.
But,
very nice. Is he nice to you?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Very nice. He better be. You're a nice gal.
Well, the poor guy, he's been getting it from everyone at the office.
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
He's been getting drilled. Like, what are your intentions with Kate?
Oh, okay. Is there somebody I know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is fun. We'll just leave it at that for right now.
We'll leave it at that so that everyone can stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah, speculation.
Exactly. That's great for marketing.
I love that. So yeah, I mean, not only do you get like more money, like literally like you're spending less, but you have more hours in the day because you don't realize only the hours that you're drinking, maybe 2-3 hours at night, but then the 1 or 2 hours that you were hungover the next morning.
Oh yeah.
Or how much slower you are at performing tasks the next day.
Seriously.
Or calling sick out of work. There's so many other things. Then you get into the health benefits. Then you start losing weight. Then you have more energy.
Your skin.
Oh my God, everything
is like clear. You actually look, people should do this. You should Google like before and after people that stop drinking, right? So if you Google that, there's like pictures online of people that quit drinking, and
you're more hydrated.
Yeah, and their face looks thinner and it looks like more vibrant. It's like really crazy.
More alive. Well, that's
Yes.
good. Well, listen, cheers to good decisions.
Yeah.
With my
Now I just have
water.
to give up the Diet Coke. Javi always tells us this
I've
is
never
terrible.
bought a Diet Coke in my life.
What?
Like on its own. I was like, oh my god, like this is like a first for me.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? You've never... What?
No,
Do you
well,
not drink
I don't drink soda.
soda?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh. Well,
And-
maybe that's a sign.
But I used to drink it with, if I was drinking alcohol, I put in, of course, like, Coke and Jack
Yeah.
or whatnot. But for me to go out and actually purchase something, like today, like that was, I just realized I'm buying a diet soda for the
That's
first time.
so funny.
So that's
I
great.
feel so like, dangerous with my
I
Diet
was
Coke.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
I want to know about you, like growing up, like
Growing up,
When were
okay.
you like? How was you when you were a kid? Like, how did you have siblings? Like, what was your?
Yeah.
How was Kate to Kate? When you were like 9-year-old girl, 12 years old. Like, what was your life like?
Fun fact, I guess. My family calls me Katie. So,
Okay.
but when I was probably about 9 years old, there was a lot of Katies in my class.
It was
or in,
just fashionable, that name.
It was a popular name. So they're like, we're just gonna call you Kate. So I introduce myself as Kate, but my family, they're like the ones that still call me Katie.
They still like Katie. Okay.
So my full name is Catherine, but nobody calls me that. So
With a K.
yeah, Kathryn. But anyway, so I was really shy as a
Were
kid,
you?
which is surprising
You
to
didn't
a
get in
lot
trouble?
of people. No, I did not get in trouble. I was pretty quiet, actually.
Uh-huh.
It was when I turned like 13. That's when I started to like come out of my shell, and then I just never shut up after that. Yeah.
Were you a heartbreaker in high school throughout?
I don't know. I mean, I had boyfriends.
Yeah?
Sure.
You were a heartbreaker.
But-
You were breaking hearts left and right, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was left and right. I mean, I didn't have like lots of boyfriends. Like I would have, I'd have one for a decent amount of time. I'm all about like commitment.
Do you like music festivals? Did you grow up here in Vegas or?
No, I grew up in Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
like by Portland.
Uh-huh.
So no, but my dad lived here when I was growing up, so I'd visit, and then I didn't move here until 2011. So I've been here since 2011.
Your dad and your mom were here, or
No, so my parents they've been divorced for as long as I can remember. So my dad lived here, and then my mom lived in Vancouver, Washington when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom ended up moving to Michigan. I moved with her. I hated Michigan. It was not for me.
Where in Michigan?
Like kind of near Ann Arbor.
You didn't like the?
No, because I don't like it. I don't like snow. I don't like
It's
cold.
probably not a place to be.
Yeah, so I'm like, this just is not my vibe. So I wanted to be by family, so then I ended up, just choosing Vegas. And I love it here.
I absolutely love it here. One of the things that I choose, like this podcast, is that there's always a guest of honor, the person sitting next to me.
Yeah.
But then there's always the third guest, which is the strip.
Yeah.
So there's always something that's gonna be going on on the strip, and people call it out, and they're like,
oh yeah,
and they're like, wait, was that like was that Frankenstein playing the drums on the sidewalk?
and you're
we
like,
turn around,
sure,
and yeah,
I guess.
I've seen like military helicopters going by. I've seen people like, there's one guy on his like bicycle, like just grabbed onto my mirror and just started riding with us like on like,
wow.
and I was like, Vegas always gives
see it
something.
all.
Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
something that gives it. So you were asking about like the cost of all this stuff. Like the next investment we're putting in is like we're decking out like with 360 cameras on the outside.
Oh, cool. So you can capture all of those moments.
Correct, because a lot of that stuff currently, like if something crazy is happening, I'm gonna take out like my phone,
Right.
and we're gonna start filming it,
Yeah.
and we talk about it, and then we'll put Gabby, our awesome editor, she's watching this. Gabby, you're awesome. I love you so much. She'll be putting in like all this stuff like in it.
So can you tell me about do you edit for people, or what do you sell?
all my other, so all the others, I'm interviewing you, but
I know, but I mean the podcaster has to. I can't turn it off. I have to know.
I think you did 2 podcasts where you were the one doing the questions this morning, right?
Yeah, but okay, this is the thing. I think podcasts are very collaborative. Like the best ones, So I feel like it's back and forth.
We're just vibing on this one. Come on, look at this trip. We're beautiful.
Because if it's like only one person like really sharing about themselves, to me, that's like not as exciting. Like I want to hear, my perspective. I want to hear your story. Like I just want to hear both.
Got it. So the main business, I have 7 businesses. The main business is InMotion Media Group.
Okay.
We do mobile billboards across the country. So everything
So like that?
Everything in Vegas except the ones on the Strip.
Okay.
And I'll explain that. So there's specific licenses on the Strip for you to advertise on the Strip, and those were all given out like 15, 20 years ago, and you can't get them anymore, and it's kind of like a little thing where somebody has it for like 40 of them, and then they're never going to give them away, and they own them, and that's that. But every billboard, so sometimes you can see a Coca-Cola truck, a delivery truck or whatnot, and you naturally assume it's got Coca-Cola products, but brands like this, they pay us to make themselves, look bigger. So so they're actually carrying, TVs or couches or produce.
Interesting.
But see, that's exactly the reaction, because most people have no idea. Yeah. So you see a Red Bull truck, you see a Coca-Cola, you see a Coors Light truck. So some of our brands, we work with Topo Chico, for instance, and so these are big brands, but they don't want to pay $250,000 to get, a semi truck and put their stuff on it. So they pay us a very tiny fee instead of that, and we put them together. So InMotion Media Group is essentially an Uber of advertising. Okay. We don't own the trucks, we don't own the brands, we just put them together. Okay. And so I've been doing stuff like that, and it started growing and growing, and now we have trucks across the country, over 15,000 nationwide. Wow. Multiple products, and then I started like growing to different brands. In fact, I've done trucks with Ryan Pineda.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So I put his brand. We put him in Venice Beach or Santa Monica. This was a few years ago. Yeah. When I just moved to Vegas, and he was still couch flipping or whatnot. Yeah. My girl at the time said, you need to follow this guy. He's just like you. He's like entrepreneur. He's flipping couches and believe it or not, like I ran into him randomly at a restaurant. Like I mean, and I just like stopped him, and I was like, hey, yeah. I've learned from your stuff. I want to do something for you. So I did these trucks for him, and it was really cool. And then I started doing for other brands and people, and that's kind of how it grew. Then the business grew into a digital company, and then eventually now into social media. So then I started growing my own personal brand. Yep. Less than 2 years ago. Okay. And that one grew by just hanging out with the right people in the right rooms, and talking about how I grew a business from $7 to 7 figures in under 12 months. And that's kind of my
12 months?
Yeah. So
all right, we gotta hear this. Come on.
I want to talk about you.
I know. Okay.
I should come to your podcast and you can ask me questions.
Okay, fine, I'll stop.
But
okay.
So we'll leave that as a cliffhanger.
You're such a rule follower. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
We leave that as a cliffhanger. Hey, listen, I see cars like that with the black and green. I was like, ooh, I'm interested.
Yeah, you need that. Yeah. Why is this one not green?
Because these are the colors of the InMotion brand. Oh. So the InMotion is purple that kind of changes into kind of orange, and so this is a tax write-off. Full 100% of the car. I bought it with a tax write-off. So is this equipment. So are the cameras. So is everything that I wear now, and everything,
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's incredible. So you, okay, so...
What else do you want to know about me?
Well, okay, so you're growing up, so you're obviously now doing podcasts, but you weren't doing that a few years ago. So something changed for you. Yeah. So I want to talk about that transition.
Okay, I love it.
Where were you and the path to where you are now.
Okay. So, do you want to ask me another question, or just want me to kind of go with that? Okay.
Go with your heart.
Go with your heart.
Let's pretend we didn't rehearse this.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, we didn't, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's the best kind of podcast anyway. So, okay, let's see. So, I'm trying to think of what year. So, 2018. All right. I used to work for Starbucks. I worked there for many years, actually.
In corporate?
Like 14 years. I was a store manager.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. Crazy.
Do you like Starbucks?
I started working there when I was like 18, and it was just a job, while I was doing other things. But then I just kind of like kept moving up in positions, and overall it's a great company to work for.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, so I was a store manager for many years, and then I had my second daughter, and I really wanted to be home with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would work like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday just to like maintain our insurance, which is so silly. Now, like, I have a completely different mindset now.
Yeah, now you think I make $250,000 out of a backpack.
I know, right? So, but yeah, so then I had stepped down. I wasn't in management, and I was just working, for these benefits. And so I can remember, so this is 2018. So how many years ago is that? What year? 6 years. So 6 years ago, yeah. And I was just like, there's something else that I'm supposed to be doing, and I really wasn't sure what it was, to be honest with you. Even though I was staying at home with the kids, like, I still, like, I started a headband company, because when I was at home with my babies, I like, oh, I could just make these headbands for babies and sell them, or I can make these like cute little scarves that will catch their drool.
That's
and
mom businesses, because you're thinking
because
about
I can't turn it off, right?
About what you need and what you're going through as a mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I started that, and then that never really went anywhere. Like, but I thought, okay, maybe this is the thing. And then I ended up working for this fitness company, fitness and yoga. Have you heard of True Fusion?
I've heard of True Fusion, yeah.
So I ended up going
big.
there. Yeah. And I worked there for like a year and a half, and I trained their franchisees on how to like operate a studio.
Okay.
And then I I managed 2 locations that they had here, 2 corporate locations. So, and that was fun. I mean, I learned a lot. And then I was like, I want to get my real estate license, and
That's
I
where the
had
name
actually
comes from.
wanted to get my real estate license for a long time, but I was kind of scared, to be honest with you, because I'm not really very good at taking tests. So I just kept putting it off, because I'm like, it's just, limiting beliefs, right?
That's a limiting belief that you need to remove, my friend.
Yes. Well, I did. I removed it. So what happened was my dad died, and that like completely just changed everything for me, because I was like, what am I afraid of? Like, we're all gonna die, So
How long ago was this?
This was 2019 that he passed away. So actually on May 2nd, yesterday was the anniversary of his death. So it's been 5 years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, but that really changed my perspective on just things that we're afraid of.
Were you guys close?
Well, we were for many years, and then we actually didn't speak for like 2 years. There was this fight in our family. It was silly. And yeah, so if anyone's listening, if you're fighting with your family over something stupid, just like reconcile and move on, because it's not worth it. So,
and you can't take back time.
No, you can't. And so thankfully I did have a day with my dad before he passed where I was able to, reconcile with him. No, he wasn't sick. Well, I mean, he had a heart attack, so, but he was really young. He was 57.
Wow.
So it was like one of those things where it just came out of nowhere and just super shocking. But yeah, so after that, I was like, that's it. I'm just getting my real estate license, and I'm going like all in. I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to be so good. And that's the end of the story. Like,
it feels like your dad is pushing you from above,
that
like from
is
heaven.
how I
He's
felt.
like, listen, I'm giving my life here so you can start yours.
Yeah. And he was like super,
that's so nice.
He had a lot of big dreams, right? And so I also felt like that too. Like, I cannot let these like die with him. Like, I have to live my life to the fullest, because, like, in his honor, like, why would I not? Why would I not live it to the fullest just because of fear? Like, that's so silly when you think about it. So yeah, I got my real estate license. That's when I created Kate Sells Vegas.
There it is. So that's the explanation of the handle.
That's the handle, yeah. And that's what I did. I went all in. I like studied, passed my test first time, and then I just went for it. And I started posting right away. And I would just let everybody know that this is what I do now. And I have no experience, but I had a mentor. Like, I had a great mentor. So I have, you know, I'm utilizing my resources. So you're going to be taken care of. But just, you know, basically give me a chance so that I can start building my business. And
honesty is key when you're starting something like that, because you're like, listen, I'm not the expert. You can go with any other 1,000 people here, but you give me an opportunity, give me a chance, and I'll give you my all. And
that worked, and I did. I got, well, this was 2020 that I went all in on that, the beginning of the year. So I just bought this new house. We had moved into this house, and then March 2020, as you know. The world just shut down. So I was like, oh boy, this is not good. But then it actually ended up working out. So when I was stuck at home it was probably about a month, I was on TikTok and I was making videos. I didn't know what I was doing.
The best time for that.
Yeah, I was just like making dumb videos about anything that inspired me. And most of it was like mom humor, or marriage humor. Like, it was just like, I was just having fun. But I also did talk about how I was a real estate agent, but not much. I mainly just talked about things that I thought were funny. But then as soon as people started to leave their houses, they started calling me. They're like, I want to buy a house. Like, you know.
Because they've seen your TikTok. So did you start on TikTok or did you start on Instagram?
Instagram is where I started, but then I had met this lender. And then he had a videographer, and he told me, he's like, you have to get on TikTok. And I'm like, you know, and like, they just, you have to dance. Like, and I don't do that, you know?
You don't?
And
have you been to these taco places?
Nobody ever heard about it. Look at this. We should record this. Yeah. Wow. So, this is amazing.
Shout out to Tacos El Gordo.
Do you have to be El Gordo to go there? What's that mean?
No, it's perfect. Oh my god, look at the line. There's a line that goes around the block. I actually
don't even know what El Gordo means.
It's exactly what... Yeah, this is so cool.
Wow.
So these tacos are actually from it says right here, from Tijuana.
Yeah.
And then they have because I lived in San Diego, and then they moved to San Diego, and now they are conquering Las Vegas, and they're gonna end up in Canada.
This.
This is insane.
I mean, what the hell do they taste like? Seriously.
Maybe we'll go after.
Like, I mean, how good could they be?
I mean, I don't know if I want to wait 45 minutes.
No, but
they're delicious. I'm not gonna lie. I've had them.
I mean, that's wild. You know that ice cream place that they have here in Vegas? What's it called? No, it's.
I only know.
It's in Summerlin, and there's always a line wrapped around the building. I've actually never had it, but my cousin told me about it, and we went there one day.
Good.
I didn't have it because the line was wrapped around the building, and I'm like, this is absurd. I'm not waiting in this line for ice cream.
Ice cream is not that,
No.
I've never seen this line as this, but I mean, that's probably a normal thing.
This is crazy. So
there you go, Vegas. This is what happens. Like, Tacos El Gordo just got its own clip.
And then the poor taco place over here, they don't stand a chance.
Yeah, Micho's Tacos. Like, you're on the other side of the road, buddy.
Nobody's going there if this place is here.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, okay, so you just had to make a change. Okay. You come out.
Yeah,
the world opens up, and people start calling you on your real estate. So
then I loved it. You know, I was doing great, and I was having a lot of fun, and honestly, like 90% of my clients came from Instagram or TikTok. So, and I didn't even have a big following. I mean, I had less than 1,000 followers at the time.
On either of the platforms?
Well, on Instagram, I had less than 1,000. I had more on TikTok, but not by much. You know, maybe I had 4,000 or something. So, it just, that's why I always tell people that too. Like, you don't have to have like a massive following in order to do well. You know, you just have to show up.
It's because you have local Vegas people as your followers. Like, if you have followers in Michigan, they're not gonna buy you your stuff. So you nurture your local following because you are selling locally. Yeah. And for other people, like for me, like, I don't care if someone follows me from Miami, Chicago, San Diego, or anything in between, or because I have trucks all over. So I want to sell the trucks or whatever.
But I mean, to be fair, like, hey, if I meet a real estate agent,
Mm-hmm.
because this is another thing that I would do. I would build relationships with other agents in other markets. So, like, one person, for instance, that I became Instagram friends with, he was in Arizona. Okay, so he was in Phoenix. Well, I had a client that was moving to Phoenix, so I linked them up and I got a referral fee. So I didn't do anything except connect the two people and made $7,000. You know,
Wow.
so I also
From just a
took
connection.
advantage of like that as well. Like, you have to think beyond just, you know, the
Beyond what you can sell on your own.
yeah, because that's another way that you can do really well. And it's all you have to do is, you know, just build relationships with other agents, and you can do that online.
And how did you pivot from real estate to personal branding?
Yeah,
and
so
what you're
that
doing now?
okay, that is an interesting story. So so then it was what year? 2023, the
Mhm.
beginning of 2023, and that's when I separated. We got separated, so I was now going through this divorce process, and I was actually living at my mom's house, or my parents, my mom, my stepdad, and in their guest room with my two daughters, and I was like, okay, well, I was doing well with real estate, but I did slow down because, you know, the interest rates went up and
Mhm.
people were freaking out, whatever. So I was scared, to be honest. I'm like, okay, I need to be able to double my income so that the girls, like, can have the lifestyle that they're used to, like, and me too, you know.
Mhm.
And I wasn't really sure how to do it, I guess, in that moment, right? Because I had all these things that were falling apart, and I was just like freaking out, essentially. And so then I got on LinkedIn, and I'm just like looking for anything, and I saw something. It was like Pineda, and I was like, what? Okay, I know that name. And then it was one of those like easy apply things. So I
Where
was
you
like,
just click a button and
click,
you
yeah,
upload your
easy
resume.
apply, boom, whatever. But I honestly thought nothing of it because I didn't really even know what it was that I was clicking on.
Those guys just got married.
Oh,
They're taking a selfie.
I'm talking about divorce, and they're getting married. Congrats. That's
God.
really pretty, actually. I
Yes,
don't know.
have you seen this?
I don't think that I have, actually.
So we'll make a couple of loops around here. So this
Okay.
is like sort of like the end of the tour before it starts getting, you know, not as fun.
You don't want to drive through the ghetto? That might be fun. If we go to the east side,
Listen,
you know?
we have a car, a Tesla that changes colors and thousands of dollars of equipment.
Oh,
and
come on. Let's live on the edge.
Yeah, let's push it. Let's just wait until it gets darker, so we really push the envelope.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It seems to me that whenever there's a something that requires a change in you, it's because something bad is going on in your life. And,
Yes.
and most people wait for a tragedy
Yes.
to make the change.
It's true.
But they don't have to.
No, it's so true. So yeah, that's where I was at, and I can remember, and I've told this story a few times, but I can I was so in a low place, I would say.
Vibrationally,
Yes,
emotionally,
just
spiritually.
like everything. I was just like, oh my God, like what? How am I here? And this is my life. And so I remember writing this prayer, and I put it in my phone, and I was like begging God to I was like, I don't even know. I don't know where you want me. I don't know why this is happening to me. I'm sure there's a lesson, but I'm just gonna like trust you to put me in front of the right people that can not like only help me financially, but also like spiritually, emotionally, all those things. And I don't know what it looks like, but just please, I beg you, help me, and then I'll tell everyone that you helped me. Pretty much.
Did you actually write it out?
Oh yeah, I have it. I have
so
it.
that's key.
Yeah.
When you put something in writing, it like amplifies
Yes.
the attraction.
Totally.
And I've been
Totally.
writing goals for I don't know, maybe like 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I learned this from other coaches and other people, but it just feels like you put it on paper,
Yeah.
and I look back at some of my notes, and my head explodes. That I was like, oh
my gosh, I know.
These things I've accomplished years ago.
It's insane.
And I don't even realize that I've accomplished
yes,
them. Little things.
Because then it just keeps going, right?
At one point, I was so broke that I found, I was going through stuff in my boxes.
Yeah.
I was so broke, and I found this like diary of my goals that I had in the past, and I'm opening it up, and one of my goals, like one of the big goals that I had, was to get an electric toothbrush.
I'm dead.
Those Panasonic that are like $80. I was like, if one day I can afford an $80 toothbrush, I've made it. And I'm like looking at my fucking bathroom, there's 3 of them, and I'm like, man, like I should be on my knees with gratitude right now,
An electric toothbrush. That's how you know you're in a bad place.
Oh man, I was like, if one day I can get out of this crackhead place. No, I'm just kidding, no.
One day I could get a backpack that could just make me $500.
Yeah, if I can get my money back in my backpack.
God,
so I got this
crazy.
toothbrush, and I'm looking at my bathroom. I was like, I have like 2 in one bathroom. I have another one in my other bathroom. Because I don't even want to walk from one place to the other to get that toothbrush. And I was like,
an electric toothbrush in every room.
You just forget that once you accomplish them, like right now, I say this prayer like in the mornings, and it's like, I may not have what I want right now, but I'm so grateful
for what I have.
That I wish I had before.
Yes.
And sometimes we forget these little things. So
true.
You applied to this LinkedIn.
So true.
You had no idea where it's coming from. This spiritual, and then who calls you back?
Okay, so this is crazy. So the next day, I get a call, and I mean, it was like that fast. I'm like, okay. And then I remember I was driving, and I pulled over into this parking lot, and I parked, and then there was this like camper van in front of me, and it said something about God and prayers, something to that effect. I took a picture of it.
Okay.
And it was Javi who called me. And so he's, kind of telling me about the position, and it was a sales position for Pineda Media. So I was going to be selling, just our services over Zoom. And so he's telling me about it. I'm like, okay, it sounds really interesting. And it was like good vibes, and he's like, can you actually just, do you want to come in for an interview right now? And I was like, actually I could. I'm like, sure, send me the address. So then I go in for the interview, and all I can say is like, there was some kind of energy or like vibe in that place that I felt like I needed to be there. And because it honestly didn't really make sense for me to take the position. And I got a lot of kind of judgment from people, like, what are you doing? Like you're a realtor, and like
Correct.
that's
and now
what
you're selling X, Y,
but
and
I
Z
wasn't
service.
gonna not be a realtor. Like when I initially joined, I was gonna kind of do both and just see how that was gonna go, right? So and this was all new for me to sell in that way, to do like high ticket sales on Zoom calls. So I thought it was going to be like so easy. I'm like, oh yeah, I can sell anything.
Do they train you? Do
well,
they prepare you?
I quickly realized that, here's the thing, like the fact that Javi even hired me was kind of like unusual because I really wasn't, I mean, yeah, I had sales experience, but not the specific type of sales experience required for that role. So I think that he just saw something in me that he was like, okay, maybe if it doesn't work out for this role, like there will be something else, like for her in our company, right? Or companies. But I ended up, I figured it out, and I did sell, and I was having a lot of fun doing it. And then through the sales process, that's where I discovered my coaching skills, I guess you could say, because I would like sell someone, and then they would come back to me for more advice on their brand. And so it was kind of an accident how that all happened. But
Your
then
gift starts to come out.
Yes, it was like so crazy. So then, and that's totally my gift, because I it's just, it is. I can
you
help
love it.
people like figure out what makes them unique and how to like share that through video so that they can connect with people online like they do in person, you know?
The way that I, conceptualize the gift is like, what is it that you do best with the least amount of effort?
I know, and I heard that before. I heard, who says that? Steve Harvey, I think. I think I heard Steve Harvey say that because I've always, for years, I've listened to like motivational YouTube videos.
He's awesome, by the way.
And I remember hearing that, and I'm like, okay, I mean, it sounds good, but I'm like, gosh, what do I do best with the least amount of effort? Honestly, I didn't know this gift until I was in this situation, right? So I think that part of it is like you trusting the process. Like I had to basically surrender and say, I'm going to trust you. You lead the way, and I'm going to follow your lead, and we're going to see where this goes, because if I didn't make the decision to take that job that didn't necessarily make sense, which was a feeling, that I just felt called to accept it.
It's God telling you.
Yeah.
That inner feeling that we have, that whether we know it's wrong or right, God puts that in us. It's sort of like our moral compass. Because how do we explain it? How do we explain
I don't know.
The only way to explain that is that we are created.
Yes.
By God.
Really.
And God said, listen,
yes.
I am inside of you, and whenever you want to connect with me, I'll let you know. And it's so strong. It's so strong when you have that, that like, this doesn't feel like the right move, and then you actually do it because it makes more money, or your friends told you, or whatever. And then you do it, and you're like, man, I should have listened to my gut.
Right.
Nobody ever says like, hey, I'm glad I listened to my gut, and then everything went to hell. Like, no. It's usually like, I should have listened to my gut.
Everything went to hell.
Right?
I know, that's so true.
And why is that?
True.
It's because God's like quietly whispering inside of us, like, hey, you are my creation. Yeah. Talk to me whenever you're on. You talked about something that's very important, and that's trusting. And trust is it's a simple one-syllable word, but it's very difficult to do. To let go of the wheel, it's a very difficult thing. Have you been ever on a Tesla?
Have I driven one? No.
Do you know the car drives itself?
I did know that. Yeah.
So if I just push a button right now it's gonna drive itself on its own for the rest of the trip, and it'll accelerate on its own.
Oh my God, that's freaking weird.
And if someone cuts me in, it'll slow down. But see, it requires trust. I see that you're a little bit concerned right now. I have zero concern.
I see that you're a little bit concerned right now.
I trust the vehicle, and the vehicle's gonna start slowing down.
I don't trust the vehicle.
And that's exactly my point. I've practiced trust with my Tesla. And the same way it goes with your spirituality. The first time that you want to trust God is like, I gotta grab onto the wheel. I gotta hold on. Oh no, it's slowing down. God, why are you taking me through these through these hard passages? No, that's not the way to go. And God wants to go right, and you're like, no, actually take the left lane. And that's what happens when you're not letting go of the wheel. And God is saying, listen, I got your back. Like, let me drive you. Sit back. Sit back.
Let me be your Tesla.
Yeah, sit back and relax. I'll be your Tesla.
Yeah.
God,
it's
please don't think I'm comparing you to the full self-driving of Tesla. It seemed at the time an analogy that was kind of making sense.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
I'm big like on marketing, and I'm big on creative ways. So do you know who Jeff Gordon is?
Jeff Gordon.
Most guys know, but anyway, so he's a NASCAR race car driver, like a champion.
Okay, I do know. Now that you say NASCAR, yes.
And at least the name should resonate because he's huge. He's the biggest and the best of all time, right? So
look at me, I'm like, I don't know.
So then Pepsi hired him to do a commercial, and so he puts on a fake mustache and a fake wig, and he goes to rent a car, and he goes to kind of drive it, test it out. And so he gets in the car, and it's a Mustang, and he starts stalling the car, and then the salesman is next to him, and he's like, okay, this guy doesn't really know how to drive. He's kind of getting like you, a little bit anxious, so he starts putting on the seatbelt, and then Jeff Gordon stalls the car again, and the car salesman is like, are you sure you know how to drive stick shift? He's like, oh yeah, I got this. And all of a sudden he kicks it back into second gear, and he takes off like a maniac. And he starts cutting and weaving through traffic and people
Yeah.
and just driving like a professional driver
Right.
would. And you see the panic on the guy's
Yes.
face. The other guy is like, slow
Right.
down. And it's just this fear and trepidation and
Yeah.
and so 2 minutes later he comes back and the guy is like, stop. He jumps out of the car. He starts running back into the sales car lot, and he
Yeah.
starts, call the police.
Yeah.
Police. And then Jeff Gordon gets out of the car. He starts running after him, taps him on the shoulder,
Yeah.
takes off the wig, takes off his mask,
Yeah,
and he
or
says
whatever.
like,
Yeah.
it's me, it's Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
And so the moment that the guy realized that I was Jeff
Yeah.
Gordon, he goes like, let's do that again.
Right.
And see, nothing happened between the 30 seconds when he was completely full of fear
Mm-hmm.
and the moment that he said, let's do it again. The only thing that happened is that he trusted the person that was driving his life.
Totally. Yeah.
And so the moment that you trust God to drive your life, also is like, God, you got this. Like, I don't have to worry about it. Let's do it again. All right, you're putting me through this hard path. Let's do it again, God, because I know you're going to put me somewhere else.
I completely agree. And I do feel that. Like, I remember thinking, like, there's got to be a reason, right?
Mhm.
There has to be a reason. And eventually, like, that will be
turns out.
revealed.
But the fun part is the car's going on its own, see?
Oh, here we go. I'm going to get a video of this.
Oh my God, is this turning on? There we go. See, I didn't even
Gotta
turn
get our
on.
lights on.
See, how smart are you, Tesla, that you saw the light turn green and that I was messing
I
around.
know.
And that it
Seriously,
started
that
driving
is, like,
me.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Should we try this mode?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this looks cool. Look at it.
This is it.
Oh, wait. Should I do cinematic or do you like
well,
the other
cinematic
one?
is good for me, but it's not good for you because you're
Here,
too close.
let's do this. So, like this.
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. We're filming.
Wait, get your hat on.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Or wait, can
Fully
I?
branded.
Can I wear the hat?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's gonna mess your.
Oh,
there
my
you go.
hair's already messed up. Okay.
Oh, you're fully branded.
Oh my gosh, I love these hats. I
know,
gotta
they're
get
super
one.
cool.
I gotta get a Chava hat.
There you go.
should sell these.
With my I do have one in the back. If you want it, you can take it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I want it.
It doesn't have my name, so that's probably better. You don't want to be wearing the Insta Chava.
Why? It's good branding for you.
I mean, it's great. Honestly, like if you want to, I'd be more than happy. I'll give you a backpack if you want to throw in, But you see how I have like my
yeah,
my
it's like
phone.
all like so on brand.
Everything is kind of fully
So-
branded on. So now that it's getting darker, I've learned so much about this InMotion podcast.
Yeah.
And for instance, the first few things, like, we didn't know which mic to use.
Right.
The car just drives itself. Don't you just love that?
I know. It's
The car
really
just drives
insane.
itself. So the first few podcasts, like, we tried different mics. We were, putting stuff here on
on the
miking people
seatbelt?
up, and then
Okay.
it would move on, and we had like different switches over here, and I had to like every podcast like it just gets better. And,
Yeah, you
and better
learn
things.
as you go.
And then
right?
I learned, you know what? We need like these little lights because at around 7 p.m.
Yep.
it starts dimming down and
Mhm.
it changes. Now the reason why I want to do like 6 to 8 is because you get to see in the background the city
okay.
changing. Because
Oh,
people who are
cool.
watching this, they can see the background. They start seeing
So
slowly.
that's like strategic. Okay.
Yes,
6 to 8
it's
is the
strategic.
thing. Yeah.
And sometimes when I do them early in the morning, if it's a hot day, then the cameras will turn off because it's so hot.
yeah.
that they turn off. So like
Yeah.
things like that have happened in the podcast. I was
Right.
like, all right, well we're gonna have to do that bit again because one of the cameras shut down.
Yeah.
That's a good thing of having 3 cameras. Isn't it awesome? Like
No,
it's just
it
taking us
is.
right now.
No. Oh yeah, you're not driving again. Okay.
No, I haven't touched the wheel.
I just surrendered and I trusted.
See, you trust
I'm just
now.
like, let's do this.
It's called
Tesla.
Full Self-Driving
Yeah.
by Tesla for $99 a month.
Wow.
The car drives me anywhere. And I've had
is-
this feature for over 5 years.
crazy.
Now, 5 years ago, there's zero chance that I was going to do what I'm doing
Yeah.
right now. But
So wait,
it keeps
okay,
getting
so
better
it's
and better.
it's stopping. It's
Yeah, it
the
slows
car
down.
is stopping. Wow.
Slows down on their own, yeah. And if
That
I want
is
to change lanes, it'll
insane.
change lanes. And then it's gonna stop without going too far over.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
I'm like,
amazing.
my mind is blown.
So
For real.
this is just a start. We're going on a street that's 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Just wait until you actually get into like freeway and it accelerates and it moves and it slows down and roundabout. Like it's
So,
just
and you've tested all of that. Yeah.
100%.
Wow.
Everything. I could go 30 minutes without touching the wheel. Now,
Wow.
it's called Full Self-Driving. supervised. So I'm not supposed to like just lean
Take a
back
nap
and pass
or-
out. No.
yeah,
I am still fully responsible. I should
Yeah.
be looking out. I mean, I am. I'm not doing it.
yeah.
But it's incredible. So I am of the strong belief that in a few years, most of the vehicles will have this feature because it's safer. It's actually safer. See how I was messing around right here?
Yeah.
The phone. 85% of accidents, car accidents, are caused by human error.
Right.
So whether you're in a bad mood, error, drunk,
Yeah.
kids are in the back are playing, you
Sure.
drop your phone, something. This car has cameras all over. So it has cameras behind you. It's like if you had eyes
Yeah.
all over you, it never gets tired. It doesn't get. It
Yeah.
doesn't care about road rage. It's not trying to cut people off.
Right.
So right now it's about 5 times safer than a traditional human.
Okay. Then a traditional human.
than a
Alright.
traditional human driver.
Love it.
Once it gets about 10 times safer than a human, it'll probably become, a law. Just like this. You know
Yeah.
this was invented by Volvo. The
No,
seatbelt.
I didn't know that.
The seatbelt was invented by Volvo, and it was their big thing. They were known as their safest car brand in the world.
Okay.
And they're like, oh crap, it saves lives. Like we
So
actually have to
this
make
is-
it a
yeah,
requirement.
right.
Now you can't buy a car without this.
Sure.
That's essentially what's going to
Yeah.
happen with this system. It's just so safe that eventually, like, it would be illegal to not have.
What other
In my opinion.
cool features should I see with this screen for
with-
somebody that doesn't know
So,
much about Tesla?
So your air, you can put it up, down,
That's
split
how you
it.
do it? Oh,
Yeah,
wait, hold
so-
on. Let me record this, actually.
Okay, so we'll do it
Yeah.
like that.
Let me get a whole Tesla.
Well, Tesla clips will do really well.
Okay, let's go.
So let me tell you about the Tesla. So if you want to change the air conditioning, just
Okay.
press it right there. You can split it. You can go further down. All this air right here
Oh, I
is your
feel
vent.
it moving, yeah.
Yeah. So you can go higher if you want to,
Okay.
lower. I don't know if you want to warm up your seat. You can have 3.
Okay.
That's 3 bars is pretty hot.
Does it cool it?
It has cooling. This car does not have it.
Oh, okay.
But they do have it for the Model S. Then what other features? I mean, they got cameras.
Okay,
We
these
can
are the
watch
cameras.
movies. You can do a lot of stuff.
You
with
can
this.
watch a movie while you're driving?
Yeah. Well, it's illegal, but we can do karaoke. So it's literally karaoke.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So
are
that's
you a
what
Taylor
Shayna
Swift?
did with you. No.
Yeah. I'm not. And I don't
I'm
want to
like-
get into because I'm not a big
yeah.
singer. But
No.
you literally like the lyrics appear on here and you can start singing.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole toy box in here. That once you go toy box, where's the toy box? Toy box. There's a fart machine.
Oh my god. We'll do it.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, do it.
Hold on. I need to press the button. I should have told you, and then I should have. Yeah.
You should honestly do that with all of your guests. That would be freaking hilarious.
Where is that turn signal? Okay.
Fart on turn signal.
And then you can position the fart.
What do you mean you can position it?
Like if someone's in the back, you can move the fart location.
So that they sit down?
Yeah.
Like a whoopee cushion?
Yeah, so someone's in the back. Now they can
Oh my
fart.
God.
So now it's gonna come out of the speakers in the back.
Wait, like it comes, does the people hear on the outside too?
If I put it on the outside,
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
so. That was
What?
like a little
Okay.
mouse fart.
Why are farts funny, like, no matter what age you are?
Well,
like, why?
That's the genius of being
You know?
Elon Musk. Like, this is an Elon Musk feature. He requested, let's put a
Really?
fart. Yeah.
Because
this
he
is-
just wanted to, like, add a little humor?
because
Or-
he wants the Tesla to be the most fun money can buy. And I
Well,
believe.
it is. I mean,
of
farts
the
are
money-
funny. Yeah.
Farts are great.
I
funny.
mean, fake farts
but
are funny.
but of all the things that you could buy with, like, this is just
Yeah.
more than a vehicle. It's
Ooh,
fun.
what's romance? This is terrible. Oh my
So
god.
romance is this. So I have to do it in park. So it actually turns on.
Oh my god! Wow.
And then it
this is
turns.
really setting the mood.
And then it heats up everything.
What?
You don't start
Are you
feeling it?
kidding me?
Smell.
It's shut up.
Yes.
It doesn't smell like a fire.
No, just start
Does it
smelling.
really?
It's gonna start smelling. Now we have until the light turns green.
How does it smell like fire?
It's gonna start smelling
I
like
think
cozy.
How does it do that? You're messing with me. I really feel like I smell fire.
It starts getting warm and cozy like a fire.
No.
Your seat.
Okay, I don't know how does it do that though.
Okay.
How does it
What
know?
else can I show you?
How How does it know though? Where does the fire aroma come from?
All this stuff right here.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I have secret scents that are put in here right here. Do you see this right here?
Yeah.
Where you're filming yourself.
What is that?
Oh, these are scented stuff that's only for the Model 3 for the Tesla.
Well, what is the scent?
You can grab it and smell it.
Like, what's the name?
It's for the firewood. It's almost like pine wood.
Oh, okay.
And so when I put the romance,
when I put the romance on,
when I crank up the romance, the heated version comes out and it starts smelling,
wow.
Amazing.
What's the light show?
Well, actually, we need more cars. I can't do this because we're actually driving on this trip. But there's a lot of other stuff, so we can do Mars. Oh, Santa's cool.
Santa?
So have you seen how so right now you can see that all the cars are right here, right?
Yeah.
And actually tracks whether it's a bus, whether it's a car, vehicles, stoplights, everything, right? You see that.
Uh-huh.
Now, if we go back into, where was my toy box, and I want to put Christmas, then, I can do...
Jingle all the way.
And now I got Santa with the reindeers.
Oh, how cute. Yeah, look at that. The kids would love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your kids won't drive, by the way. I don't know how old your daughters are, but...
They're 10 and 8.
Maybe the 10 will drive, but most likely, the 8 one won't.
What do you,
she won't need a driver's license.
Oh my god, that's scary.
No, that's actually safer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's safer. That's right. I forgot.
The gnomes.
Those are elves.
Oh yeah, elves.
Silly gnomes. Gnomes.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Okay,
right, well,
so it's just like a party in the Tesla.
That's it. Use my Tesla code. I'm just kidding. Insta Chava. No, I don't know. You know how many Teslas I've probably sold? Like I've at least I had like 3 or 4 of my friends that get in the car. I talk about it, and they're like, "Dude, I bought a Tesla."
We just need to make your podcast so big that Elon Musk comes on it. Right?
Oh my god, that would
how
be
cool
like
would
that would be 1 billionaire that I don't care how.
Why don't we write that down?
Elon Musk.
And put it in the
I'm gonna put it on my goals. I want Elon Musk to be part of the CEO InMotion podcast. Yes. And let's go. And you know what?
I gave you the idea, so I get to be in the back seat.
Yes. Well, so I ordered the Cybertruck. And
you did?
4 years ago. I still haven't gotten it yet.
Ryan, I think, got his today.
He did.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. I was like angrily liking that post.
Angrily liking.
I was like, angry like. I've been waiting for 4 years for it.
Wow. I think that is the ugliest freaking car I've ever seen.
Well, listen. Once I have that bad boy and I actually turn the podcast in the Cybertruck, it's going to be a head turner everywhere. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, so you already have all the plans.
Oh, that's why I'm already like, listen, I'm building it up, building it up, and once it starts getting bigger and bigger, then I'm going to have that, Cybertruck.
No, I love it. I'm going to think of guests for you, too.
That's awesome.
That will be good.
Let's see. Okay, that was a Tesla detour for like...
I know,
a good 5,
we did. We got a little distracted,
we got some
which
clips.
is very typical of me. We got really into the fart machine there for a minute, and the elves/gnomes. Yeah.
Right, whenever you diss me, I'm always gonna do like a fart on it. You're just gonna like throw it in there. Dude, I'm gonna start doing that with the guests.
No, please. The best thing you could do is turn that thing on, and the moment that they sit down to get in, that is like the icebreaker right there.
And I'm not gonna tell them. And I'll just be like,
no, and just like because you should totally just screw with them.
And most people don't know how much fun you can have in this car.
Oh gosh,
really
I think that would be the reactions alone would just be amazing.
Farting in the Tesla car, cool.
Like and just watching their faces.
It's got theater. You can play the stuff on an arcade game. You can do Mario Kart and stuff like that.
This is just wild.
Super fun.
Yeah.
So once you've achieved these goals and where you are right now, that you're nurturing your gift, what is the next step for Kate?
So, so now I have the podcast, Create with Kate, which I really just started.
I love the name.
And thank you. And I've only, I think I only have 3 episodes out right now.
See, we're both the same.
I filmed like so many episodes, right? Yeah, so same.
Exactly the same. You are literally on season 2 now, even though you haven't filmed.
And I'm getting a lot of people that want to be a guest on it, which is cool.
That's
because
amazing.
I'm like, it's not even like super established yet, but I really do love podcasting because I love getting to know people. Like that's what I love to do. So
you had me doing Elon Musk, who
Yeah.
I want to have on mine. Let's think about it right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll write it, and then we'll.
Oh no,
we'll tag it. Do you have someone?
Yeah,
that you
I want to have
on your
Jen
podcast?
Gottlieb on my podcast.
She's amazing.
I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fantastic.
She's great. Yeah. Okay.
And
so she's your number one.
I think so.
She's attainable. She's like you connect with her, and through people and.
Well,
and
okay. If
yours.
we're talking about Elon Musk, okay, then I guess Oprah would be my
okay.
my
So
Elon
Oprah
Musk.
is your Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I love Oprah and how she interviews people, because she really just interviews from the heart, and what she's good at is asking follow-up questions and really unraveling the layers, right?
She's a phenomenal interviewer.
And I feel like I do that really well too. Like, for instance, if somebody doesn't really answer the question, kind of goes around it, I'm gonna come back to it, and I'm just gonna ask it a different way, because I think a lot of people they get uncomfortable when the camera's on, right? So they're like, well, I'm not gonna answer that super honestly. But that's the best type of interview, is if you just answer it honestly. So I think sometimes you just have to ask it in a different way, and just break down those walls, and then you can really have a nice discussion with someone that people will really like to listen to, and it would add a lot of value to their lives.
And what an amazing look at us, we're working.
I know.
But we're getting to know each other more.
But we're just having fun. Yeah.
We're driving around.
It's great.
It's one of the gifts of this new era of social media, where you're able to reach all these people just by being your true self. So
right.
I like Create with Kate. Are you going to change your Instagram handle?
So this was this huge thing because for a long time, I guess for the last 6 to 8 months, I was like, okay, I think it needs to be Kate Sells Social, but people literally call me Kate Sells Vegas. So I'm like, it's already a thing now.
It's great.
It's what it is.
So one of the things that when I was going into these rooms and creating a personal brand, and I was like, Instachava had 900 followers, it's very little, and I posted twice in 2020. What was 2 years ago? 2022, 2023. I posted twice only in the entire year. And then I went to these rooms, and I actually, back then, I grabbed the handle CEO InMotion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This years ago, and I've been wanting to, and then somebody in the rooms just said, listen, InMotion could go bankrupt. InMotion you could sell the company. InMotion, blah. But they will follow Instachava. And that little backpack, he's just pushing that. And that was the right move then. So now that is established, I was like, okay, now I found an idea for that handle, because I've had it this whole time. CEO InMotion is just
perfect. So it worked out.
It's just great, and now I'm just trying to develop. So that handle on my Instagram, CEO InMotion, has 100 clips of podcasts, because I only post maybe one a day clip on my Instachava. Yeah. But the other one is where you start just dumping everything, just dumping all these clips, 10, 15, 20 per podcast. Is that how you do it? How do you want to grow your brand?
Yeah, so I don't have a separate handle for the podcast. I've just been sharing clips on Kate Sells Vegas, and that's probably what I'll continue to do. And yeah, I think that, Kate Sells Vegas is my handle, but obviously that's not my name, so I have my name in there, and then Create with Kate, I guess, is just an extension of me and my brand, and it's really just about personal branding, but it's creating the life that you want, right? Which, that could be lots of things. things, right?
For everybody's different.
Yeah.
So when you meet with somebody and you're trying to coach them, what are some of the things that people tell you are, holding them back?
Okay. Yeah, I love this. I actually had a great coaching call today, and real estate investor, okay? And he was like, he has this mindset that he can only post about real estate. And I'm like, but tell me about you. What makes you, what's your story? How did you even get into real estate, right? Well, it turns out and it took me several questions to get to this point, but when he was like 8 years old, he saw this infomercial of this real estate investor, and he was like inspired, because nobody that was in his environment knew anything about creating, wealth, and everyone kind of lived the same life, and just got these jobs and worked them for all these years, and it wasn't fulfilling, right?
That was the environment.
That was the environment. I mean, he was like, that is just what everyone around me did. And then I saw that infomercial, and I was like, my mind just opened up, and I thought of different possibilities. And then that real estate investor on the infomercial said, you got to read Think and Grow Rich. So then he went and got Think and Grow Rich. And then, anyway, all these little steps led to where he is today. But what we discovered through that is, truly, statistically, he should not be where he is today, because he didn't have a mentor growing up. He didn't have a family member or somebody around him that said, hey, this is how you do this and this, right? He just had that moment where he saw that guy, and he was a young kid that just felt in his heart that there was more for him. So he kept learning, and he just consumed as much as he could. And it wasn't even until later in his life that he really got into real estate investing, but that seed was planted, early on.
There's a pivoting moment in life, and sometimes you don't know when it's coming.
Right.
He didn't know he was going to watch a commercial. Yeah. You didn't know you were going to apply to this thing on LinkedIn. Exactly. I didn't know that one day I was going to put ads on trucks. I didn't grow up and be like, one day I'm going to put an ad on a truck.
So I'm like, you should share that story of where you grew up, and even the infomercial, right? Okay, so if he shared about that, other guys or girls his age that can remember those infomercials, they're going to, relate. I remember that. They're going to relate, right? So it's telling a story and then linking that to what you do. That's the best thing you can do to connect with people, because they're going to, that's how we connect. If I say, I don't drink alcohol, then people are that don't drink alcohol, they connect to that. Or people that maybe want to stop drinking alcohol or whatever. That's just one thing that they can connect to.
Not only those who already stopped, or those who want to, or those who are curious.
They're curious. They ask me questions.
I'm gonna kidnap you for another lap. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, you can kidnap me for.
You also have the daughters. So I want to make sure.
Oh no, but I don't have my girls this weekend. Oh okay. So that's why I'm free to.
Oh okay.
Play.
I was like, you didn't leave them in the car. Everything is good. So
no, I'm a fit mother. Yes.
I was like, listen, I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. So I usually start going back. But, okay, we're getting into the coaching part.
I'm so interesting that you cannot take me back yet, right?
No, and listen, the night is young. It's starting to get dark. So the coaching part is really when I dive in, and most people have these insecurities, and they don't want to get past those.
Okay.
So
So
breakthroughs. Now talk to me about breakthroughs.
Yeah. So okay, so let me go back to your original question. So the number one thing that holds people back is the fear of judgment, okay? And then them feeling like they're not interesting enough. So I hear that a lot. Nobody cares about me, or I don't have that exciting of a life, But I believe everybody does. Everybody has something that they have been through, some experience that, they can speak to, that can help someone else. That is genuinely what I believe. So it's just helping them figure out what that is. because a lot of times it's always there. They just don't know it. So identifying that, and then how do you break through the fear of judgment? Well, you have to, I think, really know why you want to share online. Number one, like why are you doing this? And it can't just be to make money. If that's the only, like we talked about this earlier, if that's your only motivation, then you're not gonna be able to keep going when it gets hard. So it has to be something bigger. So for me, even talking about not drinking alcohol, you know, if I can help one person maybe stop drinking or drink less, that it means a lot to me, you know, because it is a big problem. And I think we see a lot of happy looking families that look perfect. I mean, my family did. We look like a perfect little family from the outside. Nobody would have known that was
there
a
drinking
struggle.
going on in your parents?
You know? No, I mean like my family.
Your family. Got it.
But I mean, yeah, it is in my I guess it does go back generations, whatever. So, but yeah, so if you know why you're doing it, and then you just have to do it, and you have to not, I think that's just like where the self-awareness stuff comes in. Like, you have to know who you are, and you have to deal with your shit, you know, and your trauma, right? And like heal.
Absolutely. And I think, to your point of why people don't want to share because they want to be judged, I believe we suffer of this disease of comparing ourselves to others.
Yes, well, that's another thing.
And people are like, well, that person's already doing that. Well, there's already real estate over here. Oh, there's already that person doing that. Like, oh, I don't have that looks,
personality.
That hair, that personality.
Yeah. Right.
Listen, there's people who are who are not blessed, you know, to be in front of the camera with the good looks.
So what
crushing.
Chava is saying is there are ugly people that have amazing brands.
Yes,
that's a nice way of saying that.
There you go, Kate. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep it real in this car.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
And
this
because of that,
Tesla.
that really just tells you that, like, the content of what you're giving really helps out. Now, I do think there's an unfair advantage to those who are not ugly.
So you do think that more attractive looking people have an unfair advantage?
I mean,
I guess
don't
that's
think
probably
so.
true.
They do.
That's true.
I mean, it's for both men and women.
Yeah.
You know, it is just
you said
appealing.
I don't think so. They do.
Yeah, attractive people have a slight advantage. I'm not saying it's the make it or break it, but it is skewed, I would say.
Okay, so it plays a part, but
it does, and I think it just like a lot of things. It could be height, it could be hair. Like, you see someone with great hair, you see someone who doesn't have hair, you see somebody with great skin, you see somebody who does. Like, I think you do kind of inside make a little bit of inner judgment. That's why I think at the beginning, like, just really listening to the message. Like, I listen to a lot of like podcasts, and you really are just getting that kind of information. Like, you're just getting the information to people. Like, I don't care what they look like. Like, I don't care anything that's going on. Like, I just want people, and I love in the podcast when people are having a great time, and all of a sudden, like, laughter breaks out. Yeah. And it's just like,
well, you're always laughing, which is great.
Well, you just made me, you put me on the spot right now, so I was laughing.
No, but I feel like you're like always in a good mood. Like, you're just like, you have a good like vibe.
I like that. I like that.
So,
see that from other days when I was sleeping on the floor and drinking Fireball.
I know, who knew you were such a bum? Like,
I want to say about I had good education and everything. It's just like the last time.
Hey, that just goes to show you, like, education. Like, you can learn everything there is to learn. And same thing with, like, content and building a brand. You can learn it all. If you do not take action, right?
Oh, absolutely. It really, it all started when the giving up. Like, you know what? I'm not going to manage my life. Jeff Gordon, you take over.
Right. Seriously.
Jeff Gordon, you take over. And so things have, been for the better. What about, like, have you personally gone to seminars of improvement, self-improvement seminars? Like, what are some of those experiences like?
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. I mean, my, I guess, self-development journey started when I was a kid. You know, I was like always into to books, you know, like that was where I would go in the bookstore.
So you were a nerd.
I just with personal development, you know.
I was totally,
and like
totally
leadership, but I didn't care to learn about other things, you know.
So personal development was always important to you.
Always important to me.
Me too.
So I always had that, but it wasn't until, I mean, honestly, probably until I was like 30 that I really started to have a shift in my thinking and start visualizing what I wanted, you know? But as far as seminars, the one that I went to recently that was great was, you know, Funnel Hacking Live with Russell Brunson, you know?
He's a badass.
That was, it was a really great conference, and I met a lot of, here we go again, Vegas.
Oh my god, wait, the truck is coming at me.
Oh my god!
What am I supposed to do? I didn't know what to do.
Where is it going?
I have no idea. What am I doing?
I don't understand. Why didn't it go on that side?
Dude, it's like...
What is this?
I don't know, but I need to like...
This is like the Fast and Furious ambulance edition.
Oh my god.
Like, they're gonna have to come back because you almost just ran over the pedestrians.
Okay, we're filming the podcast.
Look at this guy.
We're stuck in the middle of the street.
He's shit-faced.
This guy has no idea that there was like 2 ambulances and everything.
Oh my
god, what
wow.
just happened? Alright, so
this is crazy.
that's part of the things that happened in Vegas.
I cannot believe that. That just came right up to you.
The fire truck came the wrong way.
Fire truck was gonna squash you.
And I'm just like sitting there, he's like honking at me.
Yeah, this is insane. Wow. That was wild.
Wait, let's film something just to have on the reels, and then we'll what just happened right now.
Should we go? We should go live.
I've never done live.
You haven't? Let's go live. I'm feeling crazy.
I wanted to talk about what just happened right now, and Kate's like, let's go live right now. So tell us what just happened right now.
I was just telling this super, insightful story on the podcast, and then this fire truck just like almost ran over us and went to the wrong side of the road. I mean, wasn't there like a median?
There's like 4 lanes right here. I'm on the other side, and they're like, oh, I wonder what's going on with the fire truck. Yeah. And then it kept getting bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden the fire truck is like...
Did you capture it on the...
I captured it.
Did you get it?
I think I captured it.
So we can show them? Because that was insane. I'm like, oh my god, what is happening?
So, there it is. Wait, do you go on lives all the time?
No, but I should.
I've never...
Somebody don't invited normally me to a live go live.
2 days ago.
I'm like, we should just go live.
2 days ago, somebody invited me on a live, and they had the same reaction, and then I'm thinking like, am I missing something? Because I was like, I've never gone live.
I think you should go live. I mean, Jen Gottlieb, that's how she built her
but brand. She gets ready for 2 hours.
No, she doesn't. It's like 30 minutes.
Well, whatever it is like get ready with me, and I put on a hat and be like, get ready with me. Live's over.
Well, okay, but you wouldn't be doing get ready with me, right? Like that's her thing.
But she can connect while she's doing something that she's going to be doing for 30 minutes.
That's literally what you're doing with this podcast. Like, you could be like, hey, we're going live while I'm doing this podcast. Like, you could just do it like a segment of it where, hey, I'm going live with my guest, that's on my podcast.
Shoot some questions.
What questions do you have for them? We're going to be live for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So,
Now, what happens when you click I'm going live? Like, does it...
It notifies all of your followers.
Really?
All of them. Yeah.
I never join lives. Do you join people's lives?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
I never do, and maybe that's why I don't do it myself. Because I'm like, I never do it.
Is it not the right time when you get a notification?
I'm usually doing something.
Right. So you have to do... I mean, but if...
And sometimes I join and there's like 3 people, 5, and I was like, okay, listen, I'll watch it later. Do they get saved?
Yeah, they do. You can choose to put them on the feed or not.
Got it. So if it sucked, you
don't have to, right. But I mean, I think it's a good way to interact with people, and it just, it pops right up, right? Like your life, so everybody knows. You're not gonna like it?
No, I say I like it. I like it.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I hate it.
What do you mean you're not gonna like it?
I hate this life thing.
Like,
no.
if it makes you uncomfortable, then we know we need to do it, because that's how we grow, right?
I don't think they go uncomfortable. I mean, all this stuff is gonna go pretty much unedited.
Yeah, I mean, we're just like farting in this Tesla and like getting run over by fire trucks.
Speaking of fire truck, I have a firewalker tattoo from the Tony Robbins seminar. So
okay. Because you walked on fire. Okay.
3 times.
I know that you're interviewing me. I know, so don't freak out. But I need to know about Tony Robbins and his events.
He is the GOAT. He is like, the greatest strategist
I haven't
of
done
all
that
time.
yet. I want to be.
I pay for everybody that I know that is within my circle.
I'm like, pay for me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm saying all these DMs. I know you. Remember when we went to school in elementary? Excuse me. Let me take that back.
Oh my God.
I will buy you a ticket if you go.
Oh, I will go.
In person.
You do not have to.
But it has to be the event that I want. So
which one is it?
It's called Unleash the Power Within.
Okay, Unleash the Power Within.
And in 2019 was the last time he did it in person.
Well, how do you go then?
Well, let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
So and then in 2020, like, COVID came along and then everything got shut down. So then instead of walking on fire, he'd give you a board, and then Zoom came about, and then he reinvented his entire brand. So instead of helping 10,000-15,000 people, in one place, now he's doing 100,000 people a day on Zoom, and it's a 3-day thing. I believe that if it's not last year, I believe this year he's going back to live events where you can actually walk on fire. Okay. And you know what? Before I finish this clip, I want to show you some shit. See if you really want to get down and dirty.
Get down and dirty. That was the name of a class at True Fusion.
Was it?
Yeah, for real.
Did you name it, girl?
I didn't name it. No, I wouldn't have named it that.
So you straighten your hair, right? You girls straighten their hair.
I style
or whatever.
it.
You use the curling iron. You
Whatever,
probably burn yourself.
Yes, I burned myself.
I have a point. It's not just there. And so you burn yourself just with 1 second. Now, you're not literally walking on fire. You're actually walking on hot coals that are 1,600 degrees.
Oh my God.
And so people are like, how do you do that? It must be a hoax. It can't really happen. And so back in 2012 is the first time that I did it. So that was almost on the lowest point when I was making $42,000 a year. I had this, office job where I wasn't not really too happy. I definitely did not have $1,000 to I'm trying to think the date. I definitely didn't have $1,000 to go to this event.
That's all it was? I thought it would have been more.
$1,000. Oh yeah, I'm buying you a $20,000 ticket. But
I mean, I just thought Tony Robbins, it's like you imagine it being some ridiculous.
There are bigger tickets cost.
Yeah.
So the first time I did it, I didn't have it, but I still went on and did it. And as a result, I went back to my boss, this limiting belief. I was like, you know what? My self-worth is more. I'm worth this. So during my lunch break, I went in there and I just outlined all the things, based on my skills and what I've done for the company, blah, blah. This is how much I think I deserve. And then they fired you? They did not fire me.
Oh.
I came back from my lunch break and I had a $14,000 raise.
Dang! Ooh.
From $42,000 to $56,000. And I was like, I think Tony Robbins is up to something. I was like, holy shit. That was the beginning. That I was like, I put my self-worth and I got it. And I was like, man. And so the next job I got from $56,000 to $72,000.
Right, and then it just kept going, right?
And then I broke, the 6-figure, dilemma, which is like, oh my God. Yeah. Most people are like, when I make 6 figures, I made it and everything. Yeah. And then check this out. And then I went to Bob Proctor.
I love Bob Proctor.
Yeah. Rest in peace,
I
Bob.
know. I
You're
love
the best.
Bob.
Amazing.
Bob might be one of my favorites.
Amazing.
Of all time.
And he said to me on this seminar, he's like, imagine the wildest amount of money that you could make in a year.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the number, and I was like, $100,000 a year, $100,000 a year. I was like, you got the number? I don't care what it is. That's your number, $100,000 a year. Okay. Now think about that crazy number that's almost impossible for making in a year. He's like, what if I told you that you can make that amount in a month? And my head like just like malfunction, error, Windows, like you know, like the error code, like I just started teaching. I was like, what? I was like, he's like, yeah. He's like, right about now, he's like, your head must be exploding.
Yeah.
He's like, because I don't even care what the number is, but you do. And if you think that's your number for a year, what if you can make it in a month? And all of a sudden, my mind shift was like a paradigm shift. I was like, my God, $100,000, and then I made $100,000 in a year. Yeah. And then I was like, can it really be done? And then I remember making $100,000 in a month. And then I was like, can it be done in a week? And then you just keep on moving the post, and as you achieve these milestones, there are really people that make $100,000 a day.
Oh yeah.
And or they've at least made it in just one single day, and they're like, yeah, I've done it.
Well, I mean, Ryan, one-on-one coaching.
Yeah. Well, I trust me.
One day.
He asked me yesterday for $100K.
Oh, see, there you go. Okay.
Ryan, yeah, you did ask me for $100K.
Well, hey, but what if that $100K could triple or whatever?
No, I know that the money.
Yeah.
Because I've been hiring coaches all the time, so I've always been with coaches. So that is all to show you what fire walking is like. Okay. And I want to get your reaction, so maybe we should film this.
Oh, wait. Hold on, you want me to film it?
I want you to see what walking on fire is like.
Oh, I think
I'll just film your reaction. You can just film your reaction. This is the 1600 degrees hot coals.
Where are you?
Well, I'm not filming when I'm walking. This is me preparing the hot coals. Can you see? I can't see because I
can see the hot coals, but
so most people, when they think like you're walking on things, they're hot.
Okay, that looks like
it's
insane,
really hot.
To be honest.
And so, out of these, people are shoveling it with their shovels, and and you can feel the heat, like from 100 feet away. And so then, because there are so many people doing this fire walk, they prepare different lanes. And so they prepare 10, 15, 20 lanes, and then you walk on these lanes of the fire walking. And it's not long. It's about, I don't know, 30 feet. Maybe less. No, what 30 feet? 10 feet, 10, 12 feet of fire walking. But then your mind is like, how do you not get burned? How do you not? And the thing is like, you know what? I'll leave that for your podcast. I'll tell you how you prepare for it.
What? Oh my God, you're gonna leave me hanging like this?
Because I want you to really I'm gonna look into when the next time Tony Robbins is doing live seminars. He usually does them in March around my birthday. That's how I know.
How cool.
So that's how that was my birthday present in 2019 to myself. I completely shut off for 4 days, and I'm off service. So last year I was selected to be on the diamond people, so I was with like the celebrities and all the people.
Oh, what an honor.
Yeah, because people from all over and there are thousands of applicants. They select about 150 people to do the whole thing. Out of those 150 people, maybe like 12 of us are on the diamond.
Wow.
And then you just serve to people for 4 days, 3 days, 4 days.
That is so cool.
And it's an amazing experience, and you don't get paid.
Yeah,
they don't pay you for where you're staying. They don't pay you for your foods. Like, it's completely voluntary. And the only way that you can even apply to work as a volunteer, I can call it work, to be a volunteer, is if you've actually done the seminar yourself first.
That makes sense.
And then you get the benefits, and so then now you can serve others.
Because it feels good to be able to give back and to help other people achieve.
It's amazing. I cannot wait for you to go in there and come back with amazing stories. So that's my experience with Tony Robbins. I've done it multiple times. It's amazing.
Multiple times you've done it.
So I started in 2012. I think I did another one in between, and then 2019 was my last one.
Wow. That's...
2019 is when I was actually
I just think
service.
I think he's incredible. Like,
he is the strategist.
Yeah.
Side note, we're almost here.
Okay.
I actually went to school with his son. He was my college suite mate. We both lived in the same dorm.
Shut up.
And I didn't even know that was his son. Yeah.
Okay, see how crazy everyone's connected? It's really bizarre.
They look identical. But
wow.
I don't know if you know Jared Robbins. I put Tony Robbins in such a pedestal that having his clone in my,
you wouldn't have.
I just never that can't really happen. No.
Yeah. That's
and I knew that
insane.
Tony Robbins had bought a castle in Del Mar, and I went to
Yeah.
school at the University of San
Yeah.
Diego. Like, all the pieces were right there.
But you just didn't see it.
And he never told us. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he never said anything. And now he's made, you know, his own live and amazing.
Okay,
But
was he like a powerful influence on you? Or no?
the son?
Yeah.
We were never close. Like,
Oh,
we just
okay.
lived together. We sometimes had like dinner, you know,
Yeah.
at the cafeteria together. But we just never like crossed paths in that way. And it's one of those things where like I look back like how much would my life have changed with that kind of influence.
Well, but yeah, you can't. I mean,
But
everything had
we
to
cannot.
happen the way
And
it did.
and now if I were to think of an Elon Musk or Tony Robbins, cliffhanger, I would probably I think I owe more gratitude to Tony Robbins.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
I would probably
yeah.
want to be with him because the first thing that I would start the interview is with a thank you to both those guys.
Okay, well we should. Okay, let's put that out into the universe and manifest Tony. I mean, Tony Robbins was on Ryan's podcast,
Yeah.
so it's not totally out of.
Well, yes,
The
Tony
question,
Robbins was on Ryan's podcast.
This is
and he
another
just
reason you should get with Ryan.
got- There you go.
See, look,
Awesome.
they taught me how to sell.
Yes, you are. that wasn't that hard.
Wait, we gotta take a picture.
Yeah. All right. Any
Okay.
last thing? Let's tell where people
Yeah.
can find you. I know
What
we
do
mentioned
you-
a few times. Where do people
Okay,
can find you on social
Kate
media?
Sells Vegas, and then the podcast is on Spotify and you know whatever the other ones are.
YouTube?
like-
Are you on YouTube?
and YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, find me there and send me a DM, like
Let's
so
go.
we can connect.
There you go. All right. Let's take a picture. Are you doing it?
Okay. Or maybe you should, because
Let's see.
or we'll one here. And then
Did you take it?
yeah, but it's not the light.
Oh, it's because of the backpack.
Yeah.
Go away.
That backpack.
All right. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes
Okay.
it doesn't.
All right, let's see. Okay, because the lights are there. Okay.
I don't see. Your flash is like fast. There you go. Okay, this is good. Oh. See, that's
Is
what
that
I'm
going to be
used
bright?
I don't know.
Oh, that's good. You have the new phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
got
like it.
This.
Don't get me started.
what is
I don't
this,
like it.
13 or something.
This is the 15
I'm a
Pro.
peasant over
This is
here.
the 15 Pro.
Yeah.
I don't personally like it. I'm not an iPhone guy. I'm an Android.
Oh no.
We'll get
I'm just
to that,
kidding.
yeah.
I don't really care. But no, this was fun. So yeah, I can't wait to see how soon do you get them up. Like, what's your? We didn't even talk about
we're
that.
probably. This is probably gonna be like at least.
Oh yeah, because we're like way deep in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I've only posted 5 of the first season. I filmed 10, so that alone is already another week and
Yeah.
a half. You're probably the 5th or 6th of this season.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So-
See you guys later.